war and kofun krosun sem ewom non so nwumrei po medicine e de asem bi atudwa or say am chance to qualify no a slim details coming up yebera Madrid transfer num afa Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim de nsema tudwa obetibi yebafia yebedi nkomo ahead of the MTN FA Cup semi-final Saturday Sunday ewo takwa Gebedin komo ho afisem no dosun details na background so folk afe under 20 no omo ewo Egypt no ochina omo gina kono say ana hobobo no esi etia Desmond fair wabo draw back home ana warren back home ni third game say ana okom obetewonsem ene awie on Promise TV on Promise 102.7 megahertz. Mr. Eugene Adu Poku striker, head of sports for Promise Media. Watana se dada enti yebekwa ba ba na oni team no ade akanyina atwaso ene ede amadwuma ko biantama ena awie won de asia konkon highway sports no yede edan wo perfect skin and body therapy de bia meka me se eye pimples na agi wanim no afa oba ema pimples engi wanim emfa de bia wo de uti wanim da bi fakodan perfect skin and body therapy na omuntu asem ema stretch mass no man from peo obi kachem se na wari agu because of stretch mass mema ni bimpe enti fakodan perfect skin and body therapy na fe omuntu ase emfa ema kotwana won ho no abusuam ambe pepa e de afi wedenani tattoo bi na won ho masa bia wanya kwanya bia okoye adwumo na nso se tattoo won ho ko na perfect skin empepa emfa ema akura bi na e won honam dwanani a ombe yi e de afi opese o slim body no o de ko perfect skin and body therapy omoso ye wofuso a fakodan omo na omuntu ase ema afe o per flat tummy o body no opese shaping ye ema wa e perfect skin and body therapy ena ebo kumase bosan Abraham Johnson womo ewo ho enkrampuni mantemu osu akwaje park Sita House first floor womo ewo ho Takrade omo Kitan Johnson Episoft Lodge Hotel eho ena omo edi womo juma eno omo ni nkomo 0553 312911 0553312911 and answer 0272453535 0272453535 perfect skin and body therapy or say be perfect come on here na wow afa Bossaba electricals enye ne de bia meka me se ono no de no nye de manfo kotena kan twaba ne bia o eye engresa brochimamu ene wakọ twan kanea no e de aba enti chandelier light obetibi ewo Bossaba electricals corner light ojibi wall light garden light afa bedside lamp spot light LED light ope color blue and answer white ope LED light 3 watts 6 watts 9 watts 18 watts and answer 24 watts open CCTV cables 100 meters 200 meters CCTV camera outdoor the other one saying the yade ebo edem etwa no ho sa 360 afa standing fan open orange outdoor open ceiling fan open air conditioning fan with USB missing fan bia open no bra Bossaba electrical so ye nebetobi original certified cables no energy commission of Ghana Bossaba electricals denom atom into 1.5 mm 2.5 mm 6 mm 10 mm to 16 mm no antibi our Bossaba electricals adum PZ on the Kejetia market no edi animhwe adum Bossaba building prisons runabouts omwaha womu edi omujuma adum PZ and tata ko for denom 0322 030 838 0322 030 and answer 0536 095 966 0536 095 966 follow Bossaba electricals our TikTok and also Instagram at bossaba.electricals TikTok and also Instagram bossaba.electricals na fe eniema openo o just screenshot to sa na maye hu on sam ebetimi aka uria na wako promise helper eho na bibi joining na ewo bibi jo fie eno no enti to bibi joining na fafi promise helper ebia na honam ya oya ebia malaria bi ena ti wo kranko ya de bi wo so ena watia bibidwo bidin ena opesa to a enko ba bia ema ye nya matrama kwansem nkyerɛw bra promise helper na amu bibidwo pa entimi entom Adum Bosra Plaza Opsis Methodist Church Adum na 0535 544681 0535544681 na wafre promise eba na fe nyama nyina akoye ede ama boss player atnase enti ebeti nkomo na fe yatoa so ede afri ho show ne live our Promise TV Promise 102.7 megahertz. Boss, good afternoon.
Baba Isa the sports lawyer say bibi ekoso kama nyoma ye kama bibia be fine why kama kuma to ye bibia be fine why mate say haje ho ye
ne ho ye pa
okay nyoma so koso kama
ne we koso na wa unim
ade de na esi
ne de my ade pa
ade
and kubusa 150 Ghana cedis. They na dware nkura o. Oh, you see 350 Ghana cedis.
And then on I say,
hey, Ghana no.
And say the money mu ye.
Oh check.
Check. Say the mu ye.
Check.
Ne say susika ba.
Musika de mai.
Na so money mu ya usika na ba.
We mai. Oh, the entire make us say any say on say yati petrol so
onya nhoro so
yati petrol so yes dollar ba form I mean me concern ya ba kope reflect o ye ho nti say betima bo bia ba so I say reflected e be ba so
ba so say ye
oh say indications near positive I can say be reflected enya reflected nti reflected e wa ba si ade e konko say de konko okay heard nyame be
I dey almost in the Bible but yeah quote me de pa
sa
say osoro boade oboa no
sa wa mo ahon so de mo awu
o say
wa mo ahon so mo awu
ti abrabo mo akwantu no obi ntumo obi
of course
so tell me chance ye wa omodembo
obey o
matematics so tell me chance nti odu wani betu yesu nipa betimi disappoint you at any time
of course
unexpected na nipa disappoint you nti wa aboa wo ho na nyankopon so emoa ewom se ne moa no de fa nipa so but wa moa wo ho a
obi moa
nyame so ema obi moa
nipa hu ne awo ye obi be boa akra wo hu se ne ma na awo ye no e positive ade na awo ye no bia o chena be so abapa bia o bo homodin so ma me insurance ne obetimi adu ho but o da na odo nsa sha odo merifa mu dia ma na bia nton fi heaven ma
okay
bia nton fi heaven
eti baba yeko ano
enranso o trend kama o trend and I catch a boy standing no her boy say afi ne mahu last year na ye ka say 2-1 na dem afi no minim as say cash number more nti as ya ran nya da agye aso trans so ye dia
utiri so wati utiri so wati
trans so ye dia
utiri so wati
na me hwe
na kwa ba
o me jo so na boys no bo abaso pa and obi say ma na fa cash pa
eko seko no say etwa na ye ashim bi say so kore Arsenal kore score no
okay onim say internet kumi chale mi tu na Ghana citizens bi ko payo Arsenal ai inter say 2-0 la command conference me yare
no so Bournemouth win here 2-1 13 points
something
and Inter dey 6 something
and antobro me We are saying ha see who Arsenal 2-1 money je nwumere see TV no was am see Inter na mo fa ba ko nka Chama ngeze ka bibia ni o amda
Ti baba ye kwa no but usual
post PSG ni Arsenal no
say PSG a boy is a 3-1 like it will my 2-1
3-1 for my
PSG
is
Ovo no so muso mo babo te se de ayi mobrobo
mo de fe de omkuta coach omo show baba
your quote for the day na baba de amano nsem na ba o say never forget what they told you when they were angry. Those statements are very important. Never forget what they told you when they were angry. Those statements are very important.
Ono
obinya asem. Na ne bufu. Na o statistics work kansema. Sa asem na o kan ye ne trimu asem odwen fa ho. Nti abufu no na akwakoyaba. Opese ohu adamfo papa. Wadamfo ananam ne du tan bi ahye na bufuo. Ne tie sem obeka.
Ana be kire wo hawo.
Na be kire so ya adamfo papa ana so nya adamfo papa.
Nde sana chanete.
No crack. Shada bufuo.
Shada na bufuo.
Or your true friend and also your true friend.
So o shana bufuo no start take cancer ma. Adamfo we dey so hwe ni ye. So tell me chana
say asem bia o ka bia na yensem a unnu a
o ka no wachi na say yensem e woni tirim
o tim so onya obaye.
Yes.
Na bufuo na mana kan kire o.
Nti na wa won so won say we asem ya careful papa
so hwe ni ye.
Onya obaye.
Me careful.
So what baba? Two fa adamfo bia. But more than at the point to be send a buffo.
But I mentioned me one Mizaya on saying I down back. And the buffo so on Casso and also
I know there's one kind of
buffo power on Casada.
Aye. On Beso be be seven tem.
The buffo wedding.
But Obu order no nama. Jidin kwa. Oto ya no nsesim. Eso still. Now one dream bone. It's in trim. Nti ada ne bubofu no. Ensem be fi na numa ba ensem a chese wa wote ye no say
akoy ni trima asem fa me hono waka
ana waka no next wada ho so why
Matias boss Matias
sports player
boss
Zaki yakwaba
yes
na afi baba die wia
na manfo twa nwum
adai
manfo twa nwum Musa dia Madrid den team anye Inter ba ya ba ye Nzagi yenye udeni uyeboy. Nje na sanyo na eba so. Na PSG na we ni say Kim. Sanyo no boys beto.
Monyere mo hona mo nsebi.
Na say age so bia. Tournament e boy there.
Baba isa kura there. Baba isa ne nkomodi enya de.
Sina boame. UEFA Champions League na kan wasem no. The last 10 years Madrid just 6 times.
Nkomodi enya de.
The last 10 years Madrid just.
Yeah, ka boy e bona fi obi so obi ase
afi de on kan one.
Ene munya boy
bibia.
Munya boy.
Afi de obi anu se Madrid kan.
What to one team a chiwa shawayi home and away wa show 5 goals.
Sa na e kan.
O se e twense PSG be share na mai.
Kan dia AC Milan fi ye ne munyina happy.
Oba de nkwa mo no.
Enti ena awian so yemu akwaba na yenkai wo se wani ene wasuguso a utie na ohwe Promise 102.7 megahertz and afi Promise TV asase afi UEFA Champions League semi-final second leg on himself Paris Saint-Germain at the 1-0 on aggregate and a echo game no and our Paris non so and a game no ebetimi atofem na ohwe training na afanum ye no enra Donnarumma na better goal post no ama Paris Saint-Germain afe Nuno Mendes William Pacho Marquinhos and afe Ashraf Hakimi on be complete the back four and Fifinom Fabian Ruiz Vitinha and João Neves miensa on beja in Finfio attack no abe Kvaratskhelia Ousmane Dembele and Desiree Doe and Emrantia on belly the attack ama Paris Saint-Germain Arsenal abeko David Raya Bibian sa goal post num Ben White abebom esan say Julian Timber no na issues kakra ɛwɔ hɔ ne fitness nti likely say Ben White ɛna ɛbɛbɔ nti Ben White ɛbɛhyia Kvaratskhelia na fe William Saliba, Jacob Kiwo na fe Lewis Kelly ɔmo complete the back four. Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey back into the midfield nti ɛbɛyɛ Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard and Bukayo Saka. Woman players are woman ejamum ama Arsenal boss player Paul Mason at the Atujasa Nukrenie or Onwofi Arsenal team num na dia oka at Arsenal and say I'm with chances said I'm qualify ahead of Paris Saint-Germain a slim kakra this be a magic night in BC anyasa everything I'm Arsenal say I'm betting I qualify akon at the akon womanim a sad news Emma Athletic Club Bilbao Ghana form you know intimacy kind Emma Bilbao Nyankopon boa it sound himself first league you know Nico Williams antimi ansia kan reporter eka yansa enne awie echese oko enyaki Williams asua ya ono so ya out ontimi emo game no pie yamara England na fe yeni nkomo ewo England former Arsenal manager Professor Asavenga at the Atuja say the transfer game na sesia honom abeka at Liverpool say omalusu sa game no ase ase unimu a hwekwan Madrid efa so efa Kylian Mbappe or Sunday enfiem yenuma Paris Saint-Germain na omo dead kodano ase amashase with William Saliba amashase with Ibrahim Konate entina onim say enka Liverpool for emu sadia no nanka amatimi asi hu kwan ema boy no kwaya adwuma ema Madrid eno Professor Asavenga nensema odi etudwo England na ye di Liverpool hu enkomonom Darwin Núñez a player ema Liverpool report confirm say River Plate edinkomom akwanim ye pa say Darwin Núñez emra na amaya adwuma emfa ema team no Marcus Rashford the mate etem say Aston Villa qualify for UEFA Champions League Nyankopon 2025-2026 I'm sign a permanent nebom ekobane say amantimi an qualify for the Champions League about then say Marcus Rashford deal no I'm being a permanent and what kai Arsenal so say oh yeah Manchester United player and an open loan at the Aston Villa team no Andrew Berta oh yeah Sporting Director Emma Arsenal na Ocean common say with William Saliba, Sir William Saliba, and Senate Contrate, Emma Arsenal. Now, I say, oh, yeah, where pa, Sir Madre from Penny Fono, and a Sasia, and Omane, boy, no 18, come on, and they say, oh, Fred boy, now, as an income dinner header, and so said the Sasia with William Saliba, na Econesa, and in Prem Echo, Nanko Pabwa, it's now Chelsea, about UEFA Europa Conference League. Now, press conference at Tottenham Enzo Maresca at the Atuja say humbe here say Chelsea win trophy afi esan say Chelsea win the UEFA Conference League na am be the first English side amatimi win the Champions League amatimi win the Europa League na for Conference League amatimi win ekoban sa am be the only English team UEFA competition bia amatimi atibie anti Conference League no ehun ehia Chelsea, Manchester United, the American HMSA, Oko Mweskin, Nasuya, or the latest player, Amo and monitor the situation, said that to be a Quenya bar, Ambefa Mweskin, Nafe, Abaya Juma, at the Amatim, and your good news, Emma, Tottenham Spurs, and Ninga James Madison, Abamese 3 months, a knee injury, Koto Genome, and say Posse, and Tiboswimi and Sam, Nadia so Obesia Kai, Ama Tottenham Spurs Bobo Kono Alejandro Garnacho a player Emma Manchester United Garnacho Edia Tujam say I am crow or no day okay ama team sa oh sorry yes oko Estadio Real Metropolitano that is Atletico de Madrid oda sorry yes oko Stadio Diego Armando Maradona Stadium Napoli San Samna amoki kanina ono nteye na nije ewo Manchester United team num na I believe sir 2025-2026 Manchester United about major trophy afi UEFA Europa League amujanye sa amabajam yamra Germany na fe yenim komom e Germany and we live on Promise TV live on Promise 102.7 megahertz na William Nagelsmann ono aye manager ama Diamond Soft of Germany na reporter yansa eka HMSA aye likely sa next week UEFA Nations League final tour May 22nd and betoja obenemi ne squad no Mark Andre ter Stegen Nicholas Fulkrug omina aye players aye likely some about to sa at the afra wamum Nico Slotterbeck differently or you rule out of the tournament and na away yada hon some to him Manchester City Makato say amadin come on with Florian Vita osia kan e Bay Arena Emma Bayer 04 Leverkusen na away reporter I can yensa HMS City ama boy ne deadline say o mayehu masa say o mama juma ama Manchester City am yehu Kevin De Bruyne eko enti you be here as diet replacement ama Kevin De Bruyne enti say officer ma mayehu na feyem fuyani enche baby from and City and foreign vet letters and no Vincent Company and in SMP atudam away or say naniante as a manager say warene the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich or say or share France no ball say anya Bundesliga nkwa and a person oje with Bayern Munich or person or a lot of trophies with the club afi nanka team nina directors president obia and is what doing say nanka Munich finals na de and katim nom aberamo na fe amatma ba omaden akọ finals amanisa de oka and say next season they will do better and the reporter opinion efi na so about Job Hanks or they are to just Thomas Muller or come obiate say a difficult sam masa buying for ebe jaya amana kosa ebe yom panka buying for nenkasa nanke bia director robia amon famanom e team num waye bi papa e say Jama Musiala ebe se nanai or a good player there nebom say o team num a eniema oye e de ema team no edoso Jama Musiala e 20-minute jogging section ene onim say wapra na wasase e ne rehab and or 20-minute jogging and Jama Musiala RB Leipzig are confirming Sir Amadou Haidara for the rest of the season on Timisia Kain Emma RB Leipzig team no biem Yanko Spain Inigo Martinez or say I team na free Champions League num na o catch mad the phone say league ne de ayomo dia league ne said ye tie bia ambete na amdi jana be gu Madrid so Nyankopon bo a Sunday our classico num abusua mamen fan tuga sa uko Barca team na so ya penifone happy with Ronald Araujo with the attitude ne form na o no fi se player ne de anya bad player na mom coach ne system na obonom en favor boy no and your reporter I can't yansa and away abusuam uko Madrid training grounds France no at the Bonabi akoboho na amasi Grazier Inter. Thank you, Inter. Outside Vedebabas no, no say Gracia, and I watch them at the go at the white TV so, and I'm a day a ball in a stadium ho, almost da Interforce at the one to me and Interfire and on the farm by Rudy Garcia at the Atujose and any gem, Setibot Courtois, I return not to say, oh yeah, Juma at the Ama the Belgian national team no, and the reporter, and no if it's Spain ever. And Yanko Italy, Paladino, and Fiorentina I sent until 2027. Obey Juma at the Ama Fiorentina Bobo Conose President Comiso for 30 minutes share or on share and a convincing say or so Timitina Claudio Ranieri the thing come on a coach Emma AS Roma 19 game unbeaten run in Serie A or say Obe qualify for the Champions League Fenerbahce Galatasaray and of Newcastle United at the Dusan Vlahovic of the Juventus Sa Amram na Amaya Juma and Emma Timninti Boss boss player awia yi be so na enkofon krosun sem no ye dinina asi live on Promise 102.7 megahertz live on Promise TV. Boss player
sports lawyer Baba Isa say bibia you fine
boss bibia fine.
Okay, my name is Tajman, so din komo bibia you come why
what na din komo
ai
say e den abete
bibia you come why
e den
okay
ya for Tajman we are na adwumara
Mr. Tajman news
ka Mr. Tajman no ka say
ade ndé na bezo
ka Mr. Tajman ne dey ko si adwumara se bia o si adwumara bia
adwumara dey say onu yefenu olman
ka say bia me bay say situation of kakra ka
enti baba ne nto aso quote ne nto aso say sometimes
do bia
it's your friends
no
that keeps the enemies updated.
I omo be no mo yo namfofo no watamfofo no omo na do ho nsem kom na ekoso bi omo ka kire omo.
Be careful
hwe ye
with the people you call friends.
Ko hwe ye omo a office e onamfofo no omo no hwe ye omo.
Okay,
hwe ye yesi abo be kawa ne fru ntimo.
Sometimes it's your friends that keeps the enemies updated.
Yes,
be careful with the people you call friends. Nti enemy no ene de agu ho.
Of course.
Yeah, sure so they are too good to dream.
Papa.
What the bay adwuma?
Oh, so
now okay, first one no.
I me kai first one no.
First one no say.
First one no. First one na o kire say obi bufua. Say obi bufua. Ason be catch on. Eh ahweni. O say ni trimasem pa no catch on.
Okay.
Obi bufu no can.
Bright Owusu Messiah. Ehwe from Italy.
Oh, me brano.
Bright so chia wo.
O ye nipa.
So chia wo.
Me nipa na ntema menu a service atem na ye nsakrai.
Na mon sakrai.
Ne nsakrai.
Ne dada. O se na niji coat no ho pa.
Boss ye dada ba ko. Na dada ba ko no bia nso se bi oge. Ntokwa
yesa yento aso why tino akwaba
enuajibo
ebia bako de sorry ko eni baba isawi Clementino dear dream dear obre no same bibia de dem obetimi akọ okay etitino ye hwen sem e wo fie awababo no anwumre awde ebre
good jibo awie yenko Egypt ne hwe na national under 20 ejina kono nyame admachina 3 p.m. and a boy and last game our group no mu already Ghana and Congo split points no 1-1 and the share defending champion Senegal which is a long goal ye dey nya 4 points DRC edan kan with the same 4 points ye share ni mu say Ghana with Nkunimidia echina ye benya with Central African Republic no group no mu ye betima advance akopiem e wo quarter final stage anwumrei training no etimi atodwa na reporter ye peke no HSS Jerry Free ye striker no akopiem e wo Spain ni nyina ne se DB da ho CD logo ho ena abrante no e ko na afei wakwa akopese nyama be ko yie dia mu a to no ena anya kwansere dia free camp a me no ekese dia nyanwe tournament no kra crucial game etena nanso mpanimfo atiase e dia ma no so beba so ma no etena ye dia ka nyina no beba abetwum wei ene kakra ye de free Egypt e de maw ene awie na onso hunu se de AC Echo now yemra mehwe former Hasofo coach Kim Grant and etre hawa masa struggle pa we league nu abra sponsorship nim na clubs no eteso.
If it's allegedly betting and etc., that just shows you the hardship in terms of players' salaries, administration salaries, league. Like you've just actually hit everything on the nail on the head. If there's no financial rewards or packages and aligned with the league titles, sponsorships, etc., no TV rights, financial, and there's hardship within players, referees, administration. This will eventually, turn to those wild ways of betting, etc. Of course, it's illegal and it shouldn't be done, but that's the reason why, because it's a very tough economy, it's a very tough environment in terms of football-wise, and so there is no financial benefits, incoming benefits for players, for staff, for the league itself. So people may have to resort to other means. This is alleged. I'm not on the ground to say that it's going on. It might be the case, but again, like you said, there's no headline sponsorship. Whoever pays their salaries, the monies, again, that comes down to revenues, income for the RFA or GFA, how they need to make sure that there is a systematic payments for these referees in time and salaries not being paid or being paid. Every referee needs to be accountable. There needs to be assessed, and there needs to be a structure in place that if they're not up to the level of standing of refereeing in games, externally with their own personal issues, and that's something that you can't judge on. But refereeing, that needs to be accountable for the RFA and the GFA to make sure that the level of standing of refereeing is at the highest level. If they're not good enough, then there needs to be replaced, or they needs to go back to retraining and to make sure that the level is up. Regards to other side of things, on the financial aspects, again, that needs to be down to the governments ruling governments who run the referee association to make sure that all the referees' financial aspects are met. Otherwise, what's the point? Again, like you said yourself, you might have some rogue referees that need financial accuse any referees of bribery or whatever. But at the end of the day, structures need to be put in place and in line to make sure that the standard of refereeing is at the highest level.
Kim Grant on Facebook and motion and area hono na one fans who also talk in America structure and your bad kwanya organizing on it.
I think it's not so much about the league itself. I think the league is quite structured quite well. Obviously, you need sponsorship, you need social media, you need TV rights, and the money that's being generated has to be reinvested in the league, reinvested in infrastructure, reinvested in promotion, salaries for players. If the league is not attractive, fans, supporters will not come. And especially when, the economic situation in Africa or in the world is very hard, people are likely not to go to football matches and waste money on something that's not attractive. And this is something, as much as you're a die-hard fan, people got families to feed, everything, and just the whole football structure needs to come together and find out exactly what is required. And also the corporate environment as well needs to invest into the league as well to make it more attractive. It's not just one thing. It's like a cancer, it just affects everything else. So it's something that needs to be secured at one end, restructured, and make sure that it's promoted correctly and in the right context.
Yɛfa Kim Grant deɛ nso hɔ na yɛnkɔ nsɛmfo fro nyame adomu a weekend MTN FA Cup ɛna ɛbɛhyɛ hɔ te league no wonhyia no weekend 4 matches nyina no kotodwa ɛwɔ Takwa na Boso Sports Stadium TNA Park hɔ ɛna matches no ɛkɔ so yɛwuram ɛwɔ Golden Case. Yes, na yɛne on honor Joseph Upton ɛdi nkɔmɔ na wakyerɛ hawa ɔma prepare ɛde Asia Atram Division.
We are an attacking-minded team. I try to bring Kolam to local football and to exhibit what is within them. So this is the focus. That's what we have done so far, and we are really prepared, and we are fully prepared for the game. So we are caught into the game, and then we hope to deliver nice football. And Trump is a good side, and then in the end, we hope to be victorious in the end of the game. The ambition is to lift the cup. And what we tell them is to make history for themselves, and then they can also make history for the club. So the focus is to make history, and this is what we are. Our target is, and we are going to put our energy into it. At least in the end, no, they are coming to play to enjoy themselves and to make history, and this is the focus. We have a bonus scheme for them, and this FA Cup at this level, we've doubled the bonus for them, and then hopefully, I'm sure this also motivates them as well. But the motivation is not about the financial, but it's about making it. Every competition, the focus is to go for the ultimate. We've already played as of about Karela, and we eliminated them, so it's no news when we eliminate the other ones as well. The cost of playing every competition is bound on the club. You know, your football team and a competition up so about league now. The motive of playing the league is to start ball. Me boss me so when you a business, you are responsible to bear the cost of the business. Of course, there are sponsorship, but I'm not relying on sponsorship. My focus is to get what I want.
What is sponsorship? Now we are no Bra Joseph Upton. No, and a owner for Golden Case, and I watch him say, Anya Biano supporter. If you need a Division 1 Kakrano, I will say, Waje Breno Bomabaso.
If I'll be very honest, I think there's a massive transformation. Me, Madibo Chiache, at least I would say I'm 20 years in football. And what was done in the past, I think there's a lot of improvement in terms of sponsorship, at least at the Division 1 level. At least now, all my football boots, all my football 30 balls, all my 30 pairs of boots, all my some financial package. So at least it was better than zero. First it was zero, now we are at a certain level. And I'm hoping going forward, things will improve from there. And then never do any that's the hope. In life, what I know is you have to learn to start to work. before you start running. So at least we've started something, and I hope that it will continue and improve. Football now is a collective thing. In fact, and football most of them relies on the clubs. Their clubs, clubs need to I don't know, but Obian in the plan and Obian in the structure. But most of the clubs will have to improve their clubs in terms of coaching, in terms of infrastructure, and in terms of administration, and in terms of welfare in Yama. And this is what will bring the game to the next level. But for instance, if we are having all the money in this world now, in good coaches and developing Kolani here, where are we going to get? We as clubs also have a responsibility to do something to, get to a certain level. We cannot say should come from the FA. At least they're also doing their part. Yes, we want more to be done for us, but at least we have to put in more effort. And the main chair and believe he said GBA is centered around money.
Yanko Yanim Hona Yajina MTN FA Cup Committee Chairman Wilson Atta and I describe of this season the NSA competition impressive.
So far, so good. I feel we know all the FA Cup no me Subanes Ubiano. Inti the matches no competitive. Na nkitwa no mini akese no na ubia kan wasem na emwaye dede ade na kese koyi. And the who side any bebree I feel we. Inti we here for the first time yenya 2 Division 1 teams are almost semi-final. Baku be more final, and it's amazing. Because last season the highest I call is KSC. Friday where they do semi-final. Anybody is good. It's going very well. You're creating a whole festival out of it. Now, it's such that there's a food bazaar, a lot of music and dance, and why the Sunday crowd, the Mother's Day crowd sounds so more. That is what is happening. Very exciting. Takwabe dancing the piano. Entertainment, a lot of surprises. The FA Cup there at every level be a busy bar. They be a try the football account. But now they are say Ubawa they are shoko. They overshow with TV so. And what was it for the first time in the history of Ghana football? There will be one professional commentary at the radio stations in Befa. I think just will be sorry I know on the name. Move on from a big now no running commentary. I didn't yeah. Professional commentary will be effort. Find main nama is very special.
Yanko Yenim na Yan said the ancient echo, we know what it was see a football in the entertainment driver sports no pa.
Football, and all here is a golden case. And they are trying the visa. Omuna Bobo, Tuba Park, Kaswa, Omuni Mobo Pa, and these are two things. Omobo boy, Papa. Now you do mobile new trap, please. Abekosa, and yet match Ketua. Catching Razor Cry, a count Gramboso, yeah. Tasku versus Fiasek, and yet match Ketua. Indeed, we share the atmosphere, creative facility, the fair, how comfortable it is. What should the BIA, I think. We will be serving even football at its highest level. So we can hear what I
Young Freehoy, na Yanko Obed, Nana Kwame Enkatia, yes, Bankola for Brekum Chelsea, na Ocean Share Pronsoa, Omukemu Airport against Kotoko, also determined to say Anyabiano, also Musu na Omukoje Afi FA Cup.
No, or any break the cap point be so just the cap. Then to the negative but the one of us quite be as we family cup. And you look at GFA and the other match and I but at the end of the day, and what you're doing. A match you're begging, at the end of the day, and what I'm not saying about the being of the man and they're born in a Hunito and in Meridian, then searching I just said, because on any bonus, on your team to us out, to go on a bon, your team to us, do by Diana, Emma, Marco, and Queen, but the Colonel had anything to us, there were any ball.
Yemewe ewo Obuasi Ashanti Gold Sunroom mobakọ no makoma won ba ku ne twa to pa no de mbaba kumase no fa ne twa to ho ma me na de aka no anopa de no fa ne gugu so nkakra ni nyina ne se ene anopa on Sports TVs ena yete ho kire wo se league de bi nkoso ewo Obuasi nenso Go supporters no nkabo mu ne gina mu dika ni nyina ne se asase a eye club ne dia eda Gausu extension omose nanana woton asase no me checks HS nanano etia ne na echokwa na nana ekwa no se die atofo no omahu sense ase no mpanimfo kuku dama wo Obuasi ɛna yɛatɔn sase no de ama wɔ mu ti Agro supporters ɛnɛ ɛna Stormy Gausu extension mo se 10 acres ti asase yantam no nom ko gyina so na dibo de wuhuni no kyerɛ sɛ supporters no kyerɛ mu a na kyerɛ sɛ nyade a ɔmamu obi asi ɔmo bobɔ bodin ɔmo abɔ ɔnabo kokoko atindin sɛ ɔmanya ne nteɛ sɛ yɛtɔn biama no saa nso na wa yɛ afosu ne din betwam ɔno nso ɛtuma kotobi so ɔtɔbi o ntobi o ne nyinaa no nyade a ɔmamu obia no ɛtumi asie na me wura mu kakra no na dibo mi hu sɛ asɛ nukura kakra bi wɔ mu ne nyinaa no ɛne sɛ ɔmo de team no ma champion ma mfa asase wei anka ne ho yes ne nyinaa nso ɔmo gidi yɛ sɛ wotɔ asase e bere wɔ hɔ sɛ ma so de develop no atwam to mu kɔ protest yɛ no mo ka kyerɛ mo sɛ ɛneɛ mo ma wei no na hɔ na yɛnkotwa boba foforo ɛma mo te no ho man so na gibo akopiem ɛwɔ court a ɔmo kɔ na case ne adwan ne mo kɔ hese kura no ju mu ɛnom de next setting akɔhye nanso ɛnura Agro supporters ne free court wo pie ya pɛ no mo decide sɛ ɛnɛ also mo kɔsoro mkɔ yɛ kyerɛ sɛ dabi wei ɛyɛ ɔboase Ashanti Gold ɛgya padeɛ to mu bia no entimi enko no nkosi dan enko yi bibia no ɛwɔ so na anyway exclusive ne nyina ne sɛ na me admo from wei hawa kroto so ɛkyena on best Stormy efficacy njibo na me ya na to me ne mba me asɛ mo ka ne keka na asɛ dabi last one obehu mo nya permission na wo hwɛ sɛ de mo si de logo ne sende ya na je sɛ ɛkyena Agro supporters ebepiem ɛwɔ efficacy na kyɛ sɛ o ma beka yes won yaudie e di akyerɛ menhia asɛm na meka gibo otikɔkɔ so sɛ nana baabi aduro no aduro atopo no me pa atwa onye we ya ne nyinaa wɔ hɔ nturi ehwɛ obehunu why last one ne twa to kra nti gibo ɛno na kyerɛ sɛ ɛkyena bibia mezi kwan ya we kra menka sɛ bibia mezi kwan ya san sɛ ɔmo si bibia asi ɔmo hu sɛ ade na ɔmo didi ho agoro a wɔahwɛ ɔmo te hɔ ana ɛdapade na free ɔmo ensa nti dibo de ekoso ɛwɔ boase Ashanti Gold emu ɛno no I say I Gold push for justice at Menchia ti ɔmo akyerɛ sɛ black park hɔ ne baabi a mo nyinaa mo hyia na motumi abepiem ɛwɔ ha nti dibo enyane sai
tiro yebeda se eneso ena Asante Kodoko omo ahyase ye omo interview for usana say no do release ba bontin say omo pe coordinator for Fabu Census
fantastic
ene omo ahyase interview na say omo de pe coordinator
omo nya bio
o say
omo nya bio
to omo select omo no
yes
ene omo interview omo na so omo wi anomo yi ba ko a ono ene beda Fabu Census na no na afoma yensesaye but still ewo ho circles election no for national chairman no ene Fabu Census no e kama ese management ba bi o mugina no mugina
as supporters nso gina anti meso me feel an je se eduru de den de ama kwa kopim wo court
bay
o mugiri ye se Asante Kotoko ye circles no mo kan zakapi ye oh yes nti eno de
eno munya
o se gibo da me catch us here omu ko shia wo RCC no omu gitu mu say a good idea omu ntumi nso ka say omu ka say tia ne mom ense so obi bia sorry ya pe so say be me register Fabu Census nti no me ba be to bi nti also omu circles for no and at this time around omu to ye wi a the following one no akwan da ho no mo ti idea ne
na we any following one difference
omu gitu
we any following one
see idea omu so mo ntwema obi a me
and I'm say we any following one difference
omu chese who say Emra Kutubokuma straight now all the Koyajuma. No, there's all much time for them to reflect over it.
Yes.
No more discussions. No more into a consensus. Then not take over.
Good.
But what you about him was a send yes you know. Me was circles on constitution over the years. Now you just throw it away now do we know I was the first to raise my hand and say no, me I won't accept it.
I won't accept it. And for say engage you mu am nim so mess on madwene dia but maybe I mugina no.
I'm not there so
when you be see after season no me boa.
Omo we season na.
Na
say no one in
the first come do want to say
they be 2 years say
you no be so anu fansa unity.
Yeah.
What does it?
So be 2 years say baby a person to kwan ko bia no sha say free baby. Sometimes when who the right moment the problem beba.
I like
maybe they who's the right moment in any.
Okay.
Almost you too but you kwa feda sa feda and
4 years old.
You were saying
4 years.
And no wa hihye ni.
There be oya moto ho a.
You got the central market.
4 years no you wa hihye ni.
Oya moto ho a. Ebedru stage bi na akofa asema ba.
Enyo moto ho.
On say yenya politics but mama kasa asem we.
Enyo moto ho.
Tebe enakakre ni. New KM boss ya enu azuba. On say was start adwuma bi a oye no kejetia ne central market area ho.
Manage ho pa.
Zamanfo obo na chipa o. But question na me bisa mo ne say wanya ne na adabai. Amanfo raise concern say genuine concern o. Ebisi blue light she yenche amanfo kura nya baabi omo show omo ni shops central market yi yenwie ye senkewi akomo motete kwan ho no ka bebre no omo yi wo central market ombeko blue light fo so omo nyina asoso omo ni store nto omo nyina betena kwan ho
sa blue light for my no ko 40
ni nyina ye genuine concern
Onfa ka Dr. Mensa kodi chem so a sa so na ankombeti ase
ni nyina genuine concern
omo da so chi ne
but once starting ne so a Clementino da bai
eno de ho de ne odibadi ya ne to ase but ha de ne de emfa ntwen kakra
nti
trendibo
me de me fuse
yantaka kwa mu ntandi
me de me fuse breni
ka kwa finfin
anaza akone me nya adwene
4 years time no
de so utie the reason behind all this young some one in trying to bring Fabu Census back to where it belongs, you know. And say one thing that about an app and say the background, you know. And say accountant, chartered accountant, so and sa area, you know. Always be you look at and this is behind a year financially how what
it might generate
benefit financially. And one thing and they what news about in terms of start about project manager on Fabu Census.
Yeah.
Because no office say the alliance share no and more kotoko. Say Gimatek penino. Say Gimatek
yeah.
On the shanensa. Scanaba ska bia no on nim skaba.
Basa kotoko for any kotoko ya we.
No say
shada nya ntale so bibia yes.
No say system no. Yes. Said they are able to tell. But sometimes you know like depending as can go good accounts mu dey. Can go good accounts mu time so bosimi o sa fi no na ba say mu share ni. Me share ni.
No but
so omo nyina omo access to
that. The last time I saw issue by you know. A kotoko supporter and for that matter we part of this for Census explanation. Scan koto Gematic account. That's what we create account na the ema koto ko bas no munya ye no
different
sa we scan ko gu no sa account so na nam so a bank be na no access bank and nam so mo de ma koto ko bas no and the account o ma create all the parties including Jimate Kotoko and as omo opposite that account no and the na na omo use to your account no omo use edi nya sa di no ma Kotoko di nya bas no
as we see today,
and they are calling Mateko.
Menka, and say Gimatic like or more, and some cash on personal account means this are me patchere.
Okay,
but as we see today, the current arrangement, no, because I know okay, you know, if there was a even joint signature previously, okay. But the current items, you know, they are not like part of signature.
And then they see Mukwa exact.
Oh. So make it has to do a lot of changes. And anytime where auditing now, if it's going forward, no. I say nyama on in the Fabu Census in your memory.
Because you were that Fatuhua, matter of Bia buy per more, Kuno, why the Biano, be the Pamunu, Namako Cano, Namako Sano. Into no memory I thought say and at least a holiday. Cause see a few holiday, all kinds of different steps.
Or who's Tino? So we assessment of Bibia before better this in Biano because again I'm seeing Shadam my auditing of project no before better this so understand where it is.
Yeah,
I said what one we are it's on my say we should audit everything about the project no I don't say Kotoko must own the project.
I know for sure which menu you are.
I say idea. Nti one for either say why system dey am any etwa ka na wo ko. Ara say
who percentage is a club na dem
because the earlier old one no he more control more saying
club
no nti omo yes how the 20 years to be yen siesie na yen yie na say yen yie a ere ba ko mo huso ne se fa bu senso so no baby aska dudu na free papa no ye abochiri na ngofo so ombofu. So what do you do to gain their trust once again? Now, didn't come out. One of are not. I say, I'm happy with the old system, no, because last year I issue by message by. I said they were not happy with the game tech system. Then you know they were complaining. And the MC thought say to gain trust. Said the uncle for we no no be and bofu on chase kebiano will come back no. Kotoko should own the project. Yeah, dear. It was just kind of old channel. Kotoko. Now, now, what to him? The end. Now, on my knee, is a bit of a conkai. Now, oh, young should now pass out again. Uncle for a trust.
There's almost a you know, say the old agreement, no. Which still na no. Na circles no percentage we.
Yes.
Ewo sika yetitia parties in Abina. Okay. Contributions is in circle for one.
And tell me about one of the areas are for now almost Caribbean as a happy no. They think say and I'm MC thing say to bring everyone together. Support base no. Because any NCC from one circus from one chia Fabu says also no. And you know say man no yes say those guys so they are included and how do you include them? They have to be the only way you can include them for them to feel like they are part of the system there in taking decisions in terms of supporters leadership base and all. Me I don't mean whether the name circles no will maintain no say may change no but say you two abani say penina over be supporters in the no kotoko support be at least there is something to what recognize you as a supporter. And Chroma say CCI in terms of credible way of knowing someone is a Kotoko supporter, because most of circus members baby now use Momuntia. Say Kotoaba, who say elections of my previously baby now, Omokotoaba, they are generating receipt in Yamasu, we are to what on some Toba, because the entire Toba. When they generate all those payments, it does not reflect into their account.
Scared of account.
Oh, first scared of account. Any person want to do is entirely. So how do you get credible and people? You say when they are credible supporters are more to with the system with the enchantro. You want to be what? With the enchantro. If I was say captain only if I was on Susie, only mention you can't go and generate anything captain Yasia. Baba Quidie. They skills been and tricks in this year. They are generating or your second member, or your second member. But where dear? Oh, by I say, oh, far with number saying, oh boy, our system will capture everything. And I think that one of the ways that the IMC is trying to bring everyone on board or be on board to full part of the system, they say. And if you talk about and paying for media, let's use a credible source of knowing who contributor a club is. And if I wish answers, me I'm told say whether quite fine Fabu's on number issue, and the only use and I think the Kotoko no get NCC chairman because it looks like say. The IMC are in the backing of efficacy so mention on that decision now taken because the thing say the club should be able to in the next you see Timura is doing all these things in the next 2-3 years to make the club sustainable, putting infrastructures, doing a lot of things and in terms of putting money no. What about team bia na team na dey ya mana ya kono dey amount afi bra never trust na ye it one of those things be akono no to generate money from Fabu sensors
sasa so dey entiase wo obera kwa ba
oh me so
bibia boko dey
ya ba na ya ba
sasa so dey entiase wo ayukura boy kakra Alex
yeah
Alex J
yeah
or say striker is not circles percentage but supporters percentage supporters be
so
supporters
how am be control that percentage you know
that's another question
and as a kind of percentage you know how am ko first mu na be ko
yeah truth is that
who's initiative
supporters now all come answer no the circles because now they are the as we see today they are the recognized supporters base of the club.
Okay.
And even though semantics, you know, so unless he's trying to use supporters, no, but we say the recognized body because as can I or no, you have come for what's up for you have come
okay.
They come more the circus leadership. I'm going to come more. I think say in bringing Obia on board, no, and I'm saying for say so what what's up so na Fabu sensors. Fabu sensors, supporter. You have to. There should be a reason why you want to contribute.
Captain, I mean, tell us why.
I don't think.
You're next story.
Obia listening to this laudable idea. Becca chose enye. But if you that's what democracy is. That's why democracy is important. And you know, you allow other people's view. There's already a system existing. And now a person expanding to get other people on board. First of all, whose initiative is Fabu Census? A cycles initiative. And a management are buying into it. And on person expanding. So if it changes, SAA changes, there should be that sitting down approach and discussions. They expand the argument in from why it should be like this. But ultimately crucify the circles because other so-called groups didn't more. And now the background say is the initiative from the didn't buy. And management and so assume be an yes argument. That's why I may call it say yes, a laudable idea. But you cannot push it without almost others no almost consensus. Sit them down, let them understand why it should be done like this. So you want to clear Sadian everywhere. Yes, any pan now more Sadian. Etias yes, oh, yeah, jetum. Say, you know. It shouldn't be a decision from the management to say na yakwa. In other words, I won't bet me so flex on muscle because circles. Directly, you are not running circles. Directly, you are not running circles. Indirectly, are you over to circles more? But circles, no, an autonomous or semi-autonomous body. And because I want to near me, I won't run on my face. But just what I say. I want to tell me, but I'm not to tell me JJ Amma and Nano air for the equi. And no, yes, I buy into it. The free supporters and spread out everywhere. Over this, the internet buy. Amma, what it doesn't matter. Distance is not a matter. What you brutal, but it more contribute to Asante Kotoko. Those people actually recognize almost contribution. I don't know management. Nana, yes, being an accountant or chartered accountant, this idea is not air banner. I think come on. But Nana must also appreciate say in this day and era, you cannot force something on people's neck. Say and person me, and I want to believe the owner of the club, man, she will tune for a believe democracy. That is why Okomansha. Nana and I'm 20 years old. Be a root to say the most person a walk into the presidency. You know, you're practicing no. I want an fee and send a call to that. And nobody is against it. I am for it. Say a BM. My all other contributors no almost who where are they call almost how important they are. Say we say about muding and you know second but they started. I don't know. Open say you know. Now say future is a kotokono yes you know about to okra no first circles you didn't every hole. It must be something that must be understood by all supporters and say yeah circles be says a be a supporters front it compasses all other bodies and you chairman that chairman no e cut across you warriors you na say be akubia ba na almost have you be no what I say you we e supporters it is na yes circles no and I said na zakito was the word use no a recognized body e wo manhia first kotoko even board kra na your circle representation management and then be e wo it's a free something that we had a discussion on the round table and kotoko no enwu na egu china it is a unya idea bi na so the bar and your force so you be ramu na che say cause sometimes bet ma force the idea bi aba people will not patronize because of say one siki word or advice on it of force special neck but when it is that yes na ya trans na dia tum say na ye kwa I think they will buy the idea and they will move it forward but how on the balance should be calculated so now what can account to be a start free baby right account to be episode 2 coin kruba na episode 2 coin jada na say na jada central market hoyi blue light hoyi na say osu episode 2 coin ko jina ko faka ba ko jina baby a hojo na ko fa card yakọ and you know yes it must start from somewhere but yen choose baby start no appropriately say be ya enko face future disturbance be in free other group we mra say ya anye say ye be say ko say na end stable that loud idea for no I think these are some of the things that Santo Kotoko SSRB na komo akonya so meet ma hwemu aye anema e be shoot club no going forward okay anti me take no
all right Obed me ba so nana kwesi say I talk the circles alone will sustain the Fabu census not knowing hwini kotreyem okay eno ye nana kwesi de a ode aba eno no we so obi akrofi o say I have no interest in who leads the circles because I'm not a member and will never be a member regardless of the name given to it. The club should set parameters. If that meets the parameters should be recognized. And no obi akrofi de a ode abano no. We so hwan odisika tomprada. Kodoko supporters contribution from the circles is different from NYA's Fabu census. Okay. And also Nedio de Abba and no Kojo Ben and so Nedia was Jibo. Please let's draw some experience from the clubs in Europe and how they manage their team and supporters. Jibo educate us on AC Milan and Zach on Manchester United. And this will settle the debate on the way forward for circles and other supporting groups. And also Kojo Ben Edie Aode Abba Enono Kofi Ajiman Blackman was good evening watching you live inside Pig Farm in Accra. Say Obed, maminti oy.
Almost avoid broke girls. And me idea I trend this is here.
Avoid what?
Broke girls. Broke girls. My omni capre. Captain minim the original fast answer no. I say
how do you know?
Trend pa. I say dia group pa. I say the bia no more. I'm sorry. I'm say many pen 2 pounds minim dia chairman be ka fa ho dia. Chairman. But I'm say avoid the broke girls na minim say for 2 pounds na say.
Yeah, avoid the one.
Ma broke girls no cry who ni say.
It depends.
Because it depends. It depends about me the real consume.
It depends.
Yes, okay. It depends then, sir.
So you broke guy. Broke girl.
I said the editing.
See our fan to my bomb there. And I'm a boy.
say China
say no Phantom abom de no no ne capital town de WWB
okay
sort the mission say
it to be for say on date a broke girl
sa nyoma ne de obed it depend and make say it depend sort the mission say ni nyina ne ntiase because obi oni bie obed de be den so benya kokuduro akwasi obi pe so what the mission say it's mostly no
bia oni bie no
omumi onu ya na etako so the mission say omumi onu no ya na etako so wo ti hey say nei uchu so oba oni ne be ware a obehwede obetimi no wako so the mission say anya bibia na be kwakofa but the most important thing football and man is life is important than love.
Abrabonu hiya che ododo.
Yes.
Okay. Next, o he bibia be mo abrabonu.
Se mutimi bo abrabonu ya odo na abeba.
Okay. I'm blessed. I'm in a triangle of married men. Oh, Diana. Mo de mama say na etimi abo amna.
Ese ofa oba. Ohun se onene mienu no abrabonu beboa wo.
Okay.
Eye dey abema ne de abusua no ni tire.
Okay.
Wona abekọ ade bia bafie. Nti wo fo oba na fo oba obehu so obeboa wo.
Okay.
Udi odonko achi amasa be yo to lege. Nti to aso.
Okay. It's even more do all correct. On the bar side they all correct. Okay. Yeah, to aso.
Yeah, go.
Fabu sense was in common no crania ba ko pe. Jibon se abrabono. Se ne ne kenya.
Ba wo ya hwewe ma me mate se su nipa. Our player in team menu. Yes, London.
Mamba so akabeti ase. Aso we.
In team menu ko.
Member so. In team to
London. In team Dino.
Member so den. Na jibon se ese abrabo no se wambo ni ye ba otaswa eye nkonya ne ade. Because boga for $1 ne ba na omo na ne wi ahon expect omo se omo na ensa nko sesa nkonya ho asem debi omo nya sa ade ne bi
asem na ka na ye careful
se manfo yi scan to ha na se ye plan wi ahon expect so ono na nkonya no ene debi onya sa adwuma odo ahon de ne beboa
unshi of opemanso
now you say you know put me plan ya na abroche for na ba na mo plan ni na mo dia to ha no ma o ma ye bi
ya mo hwe no ma mi na ma hwe ayi housekeeper
Benjamin Asare
so car Alaji Adongo Diamano
Alaji Diamano yeah Najibo
Alaji Diamano Mugabe na enam ne so a oni Alaji Dinkobo na Alaji de Kano e de ama Asare unse Asare ko ball 2 games ne bae no na Asare ko tena trotro mo ko training na video ne ba viral and I knew Mugabe. Now come try to menya Mugabe, but on so no so ye programs.
Yes, Sabro no 2
and I'll say Mugabe so be menya car.
Okay.
The Mugabe so has nipa. Yeah.
Mugabe no sports journalist.
Mugabe no
on fan house in Diago.
Mugabe na ye war, you know a reporter my war. Na Mugabe will go so. On a Kinsi why. On Mugabe ni Kinsi why. Omna there was Success Radio.
Yeah.
I wanna know more. To Omaya na Maya.
Nti ebe hanu so. Ebe hanu.
Asari try
and our players no so menya nti ese ebe pushi bi mu nti no ebe hanu nyina.
Borogo bless no.
Ebe pushi bi nti ebe hanu nyina. Dibo yan kan. Yeah, sen ya fene so. As afia so ne yakun akoko. Normal. Dibo. No kwani ese. Yama obibia circles nkomwe otwemu na ntiase yese ebre na yeduru sensi na ebesi ochena circles no obia inform animu ntwitwi form ba no kra ne yese enyoma hodo a ye hwe anim so mo beye no oma ho den ne oma ho keka no entimi nya menduru sa ho den no
boga for ni do mati kwa form
enti esa ne oma bisesa asɛm ne nyinaa no ɔn sɛ yɛagye atom sɛ wo ne kɔtɔkɔ akyitaafoɔ nyinaa kuo a ɛkɔ kɔtɔkɔ nhyehyɛeɛ mu kɔtɔkɔ nkɔmdie mu a yɛma wɔ akonnwa wo ntena mu no ɛsɛ wode dɔm bi di w'akyi de ba deɛ ma a ɔmo saa privilege ne yɛ mmerɛ na yɛfɔm ana yɛteki saa decision ne baby a na ɔmo gyina na baby a ɔmo gyina na ɔmo awo keka no ɛfɛ sikasɛm mu ɛfa yɛboa tim no physical and spiritual ɛfa sɛ yɛmbɛgu stadium na yɛnta tim n'akyi no na saa nneɔma mmiɛnsa wei na ɔmo yɛ kokromoti a ɔsɛ ɔmo bɔ po ɛdɛn enye yie ba baby egyina sesei pɛɛ yɛbɛtumi abɔpɔ no gya ɔmo ɛpɔ ne mbu ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔmo ho hia bɛbɛtumi abɔpɔ no gya ɔmo ahwɛ nsi enti eduru saa there will be reforms na reforms sɛ waa anya obi ba bɛyɛ ama ɛno na ɔmo atwe ama ya bɛduru ha yi ɛsɛ nka reforms no kɔmo ankasa ayɛ ɔmo adeɛ dada sɛnea ɔmo relevance no ɛnkɛso nte nanka still omenya the bragging right to say ye pe the official supporters group of Asante Kotoko nke nkoso anya omo a enti keba ne saa no kafabu census yo meka se ye chitafo ne betimi ne ensasi ebosa about 70% and they contribute to omo ye nkofo and therefore some tie terms and conditions ya ye be fa baby you will stick to e be ka trom say omo ntua reduce na omo tua na na nipa no nya bi na abro so na akotua bi ama club dia akotua bi ma club ana nka numpo no jibo ka if they have a solid dues paying system afibia na abusumi bia so a and now say members need tua ne no mo wi a omo ti bia bre club na nka nya sure say club na ni be bra ma fa abu census yaba and can no kra na be yon komo circles ni initiative they will not need any form of backing from the supporters. Come in a circles dues na bia on modernize a sales circle be a census can be fabulous but say no and I'm someone can say who say omo establishing the more kwa enye yin they needed the management to confirm so that other kotoko supporters so ba be kan omo ni omo domain into omo kasa and they accepted that defeat from the word go but come accept we no asem ma kan over and over some community initiative bi ba say obi biara obe contribute to fabu census no we are taking on advantage of that to get him closer to the supporters, to get him closer to the circles and to also more registration location ni ade no na nkese nkomu mani bri say o ye location na say o bantman near waka bantman circles on kasa bri say asem nkembae and to some extent you no correct customer they fail to accept the modern way of doing things. Of course. Because en komu accept ya. Komu momu na kombe move from yenshia kwesiada after matches to yankos WhatsApp platforms no. Ke ho no komu na de be ko ho. Ba mu moment mi anya amfa nko. Asem ni nyina no no. Ene na ama other ones ni bia gain momentum no. As almost stay with the old way of doing things now, tradition here, and nobody's saying anything wrong when it comes to traditions. But modify as time goes on. So now also because we are now come center. Now the time about Germany, no actual London, no actual. Where you money begu? Obiensi ho because obienye is a WhatsApp call near then, and you need to accept the modern way of doing things.
The you wasam na di kan say. Oyo fana ofia wa hwea abraboni bituna abochefo ne yiska ba
eye nu dura
eye dura na ba esa kunya so this is like for ne hwekunya so
of course and you see e be yima frimo you play a critical role but e ban sa wa hoden na ka wo fade won a wo kire say ye no man 25th obi antimi nka hwe no wo sa tumi no eso te sa hoden no eso te enti ene Nukrani nyamianim if they fail to accept the new way now management ni introduce now no mo koso atno mo dadema before you realize na bi e ba benya Asante Kotoko supporters union big circles na bi obi entache
baby abenya Asante Kotoko supporters union kese pa yebeyi how executives will be voted for. Yebeyi how to become a member of Asante Kotoko supporters union kese ne pa ebeba. That stage will get there. Sa stage ni mpamba. When yebenya a supporters group bia, they would work with the modern way of doing things in such a way say 5 or 6 years to come omo be vibrant than the circles. No more be pure messaging. And it's there. How many people expected say BlackBerry, Nokia, and then iPhone baby two omo? Nipa do say. Then time of BlackBerry pin and they're trendy. Now iPhone has taken over. How many people now who say you walk around who's omkuta BlackBerry? How many people now walk around who's omkuta Nokia? It will happen if you don't work along the way. Once the sound your man, bibi ba sound. Either they will start now. And just almost in fast wo. Ibo almost on fast wo. But almost person almost on fast one. E course why kese no menya tumi sene na emre bi. Wo mu tumi no wo mu bomu a. Na management ho popona. Ese so almost some your man. Okay. Some answer the ajibo. Now their financial contribution to the club. It is saying. And then back we yi free mu a and the obey bonia said they have time for critical issues around Asante Kotoko. And not there. Say Kotoko e Drew Western. Open dedicated supporters omunko siomo and not there you get that from the circles. It's still there. But it's kind of way. It's tough for a stadium no. Ma ho de momo de na we. Ye betimi akase circles say Kotoko supporters 1,000 and a stadium every match they are responsible for maybe a 50% ana you bet me aka enti saa nyoma na free bu no so be sorry na group be sorry na fe Kotoko bo match numbers na check it 20% 30%. The management will start taking them serious. Okay, every month be wie no mo ankasa sika majeji a TB for omo welfare which is omo dues omo TB. Now the ebe catch on be break club no. It me taking care of maybe hotel bills. For maybe within the month no. And like so about 2 away matches. It me taking care of that too now. You realize that they will start gaining power. So the circle need to I say modernize no. So bad. Okay.
We have to feed the message be as a message be. Now I think say and run a cycle I'm special no because no say management should not be directly involved with how supporters conduct their business. They should just set the parameters for the recognition of supporters groups. 1, groups must have at least 90% of members on the FABU census. 2, groups should use the census to elect their leaders. Groups that do not comply should not be recognized by the club. And to share parameters, and I'm seeing a set say. And so they will be now we a group BR. And we can about a similar Manchester United. There are a lot of groups on match but the recognized one that now we are a Papa no the better chess and Manchester in for you know. They might not the one question. They made the recognized Manchester United Trust Fund. I will lead them, also at the release by one thing about down massive. Meanwhile, there are other United groups or supported groups but every club when they are communicating or more they recognize
based on your contribution.
Yes, one now I'm dealing no mono. I send a message to the other ones. And I'm try say they set the parameter. And then they say now every group piano whatever you let you know for census. The baby and for census. Okay. And almost at least there can be other.
Yeah, Benjamin Asare.
It's a good thing. And sometimes in Chroma say no. BBA and the people sometimes negative and a negative and a negative. The kind of insult being in some way. Maybe I'm video number 1 no. Or time not to no. So a match. And then central for negative and you see Chroma say no. One tongue, one can answer ma.
Bimba wow.
Chroma say oh. You see I no problems ba. I'm a boy. So bad. Captain, any problem? But how many don't see a problem? Ni omo nim. Eti Ben nipero chance ha video no. And they say Benjamin said okohwe no koda nase. And mo ma de nti so kra. Onko pelechi akwan. Na onko da nase special. Say, hey, onua aboa me. Enya wa nka de bia nka mti trotro mu. Na time na okotena kan na o ba ben ntum say to atatoto watch papa abe no ye trotro for abe no omo kwa na omo passenger pem so last na omo every passenger so no nte wa trotro ma chentu onim how trotro drivers no ba abe no yambo Mugabe abaso because at least on take the initiative say Sadia na ato Benjamin Asare Blasters goalkeeper na onum de man ye na yampo ne ne store na ne say that was the first time week na ofri ya okobo Blasters na buy na o tike mu ko no o buy na okobo Blasters o training then immediate training na o titro to man o di ko house folk training antina I ferry some kakra. And sometimes you need these negative stories to help improve ya brabo. And I'm sure say and the Benyansare you see so I follow the story now. Olympics on one goalkeeper. If you follow the local league for a very long time, no more keep it TB. Referee. No on the more Olympics. I think so pray. And I said take a chance to keep because I said no. Because no more in every one because of the age. I said when you into all quietness. I said has Scobana and only a young at Olympics he wasn't a baby bonsu. Aranya bonsu. People can't keep an team Olympics. He was number one goalkeeper at Olympics. Maybe and I can't so pray. And I said by I said by there more. You born watching no keep clean sheet no our channel and I fear I don't turn over and I fear but aside Jipo nafa season ended has supporters searching china problem back goalkeeping and the things aside will solve the problem management see and when you need almost a problem we have a jam Munsen asare na I was a diaspora for and there's so much ginem Emma has and not from command conference fia 1 year then bi na omekwa nansi anka esanya why sending because some visa ontim like when you need to it's the story no if you go back to the background Jibo I think say in the last 2 years has been the best year of the boys career and adding this to Blasters and here Chereka na Watara
Alaji Sedu Adongo yes Watara etunu fubi Watara na me say Watara do Ghana ni okay ABJ tie from Accra ABJ da sepa ABJ ese goalkeeper no Steven Kwaku correct yes ABJ there eba local players no any local ball na ABJ no say me kwa Accra me hwe no kamemu hu no okay ABJ no asa o players o sesi o mo kama ABJ me ne central forces yo o say central for the minyan hu bi abusa no ai ABJ yeda say o hwe show na life nansi I play bia na ye hu di ngomo na obo ABJ dem say oh ABJ kura Jibo aka no asem ni birthday Jibo eka no asem ti no e dia mehwe nchi akwan nti ono na make no asem no na number 1 goalkeeper oh you good brother ABJ so no on na number 1 goalkeeper Intercide was in number 1 at Olympics Anna lucky for him because I want to call him lucky for him because I 2 years so they were virtually fading him out from the system and then one prayer Anna Asare Benjamin Asare be there hey so me tin catch say boy no no division 1 no good power no unyini short back go papa on kira any high be blesa ba obo bi obeche no e ka say buy no hey ya bobo no fa anga na Asare yi middle no wasevu
penalty no head it.
Hey.
Sorry, what I said day, which means you free. And I said the car no. Now look at where it is. And yanda Alaji
32 years.
Alaji
Sedu Adongo. Yes, classic media.
Yes, yanda na say.
Class media owner.
But I think say Mugabe the age man more because Ojijini mu say them.
Mugabe Manase.
Yeah, Ojijini mu say baby a boy no true no.
Mugabe do hard you na chi.
On trasem ma. On trotro.
On twema da.
On trasem ma on try say na anu yayi.
Na ni de mai. Say Nancy abe last week more. Na man for start here. Oh, Mugabe a promise player no kwa. Udwana num. Nem say week here or charge no no. Ese make come home. Ese Mugabe so.
Yeah, ese obi a nya Mugabe o. Ana captain, ese obi a here on no so ni Mugabe.
Ah, enti.
Na anu ya na o tuje bi pa oto mampenija.
Enti ese Asare.
Ese captain ko hu no.
All it goes to confirm so your faith.
I say captain ko hu no. Because no of say DJ Yaba.
Why?
Oh, one thing Mugabe, one video no. Oh, Otujo,
no say classic media for them say.
O say juma na
ye fa media for them.
Omo ya na say ye fa media for them for movie.
Obi am
omo na omo ko
obi am rebedu.
Nkurase
to aso ye to.
E ko ejuma no. E yo free ejide e ya.
Obi am rebedu 4 years.
Ti captain e say ko hu na o aso o say ye didi eja.
Me nyene sa gwen kra.
Oben, I mean tie why.
Omo didi be do so be ba so.
4 year period.
I say who's as appointment.
That's 21st year.
E say captain
the captain na say omo to ne nkra o.
So brana.
So omra na de oye ni nyina no omo te. Ti omra na omo ni nsinkonya.
Captain no bi na bi. What does say? Ba no krani ba.
Omo de nkran so kofa Apia Stadium so. Enti nanu mi ni konkonsa kakra na chemo.
Mi hu so oni Apia Stadium. Ewo kotokwane. Match be ngura. Omo la so mi game na ngura.
Aduana.
Mi hu so oni Apia Stadium. I say a movement.
I have no idea. Apia old brother.
I made them my information say. Oma to cry the fin cry.
Okay.
So omu here captains yes.
Mama go for me. Think crowd. What think crowd.
As I'm think you cry.
Omu here captains yes ya. They say was start here o to anamo. Enchebia. Be bosumi edi enimi kakra se captain ka obi se o kon kan
no go the appointment
asa won say
as no go for me
ebrena so
you ebrena so I have no idea
o be rami ti we
jibo unse ben video na me hu ye no de ma ma ni je nzo za abrabo no the amani pa bebre esoro kono acha ama omo na yese omo page omo na mbro steps na ese omo fro no de ondro page abro e na onim se o fra twede na se o patria na me anso mo e form dam sa form so nyesa o to form apra tu be san nya ahode asori asan de afro no e bi abrabo no wa wie ye mu ana woko was a clear example of obia who live within his means.
Yeah.
It's very, very important to Abrabonumpa. Live within your means. And yes, I feel na media menya kakasako. Me into 2 ye. So it's not the front. Maybe are not ten the air and hard you dibo. Front or no. Especially when ya and no one antena na wote we no so a. E car na engine no chassis on na.
Say the so be dey car front you know. And I came in Seriki. Yeah, story. Say Pony town in front of the Pony Kofia. Seriki ma I say it can be now one it is speed.
Makosho.
Because why ko shit for box. Okwa. It's a brave boy. The bia the sa. The bia the private sky. Eti o say e taba na e tete chiro no ko bia mo e o.
Aside no monfa video into yes monfa video into screen so na moment me hu you know ultra na say ano na me fa so ana
oh so bi obi be boa
won
saka bi ti obi be boa dia azana branti bi pe ato do the kadisa me okuanim ejibo the point is I was happy despite what now call for can no
so you go to Canada and back
and the aba
oja fusu na na
live within your means very very important bayana say adding especially wa frona oti echi na obetua obi no bia ma nsa so e bia chale metua ma me yada opa enye easy ada say obetua ma me yada o eno say o ye ni say me but the point is eso who say brabo no steps and samre no beso on say ena yetiwe yibo ye won nyoma bi wo ho enne ye ne simple e betimi aya ma obi simple baby at 10 years ago ka kire e bi kura ne yen dance ho dai but senke started for so ye ho ye ne sa 10 years ago na nke na ye ntimi nye no comfortably send ye no that is stages of life nyankopon no nima brabo no ma hu say na say boys no ye na odi 40 na ye den na odi 40 na ye de wunya scan na de wuni mo chena sem but what if ochena ne beto na wonye prepared one prepare ho ne na for ochena na what will happen
and some so do ka be bri so beba
yes
okay ka be bri so beba me na ba ene odi ene nhia ebi so ne say eze wiase na yehu
okay
ade beche obetia na news a obetia no obed no wani nye ho nti amanfo so say ne nyame boawo na de pachewa wadi mfi apem
tijuani
nti watare bi na watode ato se wo twen se wedding bi na de beko ana program bi na de beko a masa ade eche wa hye
eno nko bi asa obi anka sase but so chena ne ba na ne no ambo ahu for chena na what will be your state
we would do akra
na ya am go for hwe no o chena ne beba o de e possible say bi o chena ne bia ento but what if ebeto no be sound say brabo awu boy say 10 years time wa wo ma now ma bills aba be kan ho a send ya wunya awuhwim just to please certain people and live within a certain class of life no sa brabo ya wan kasa onim say nipa ho wetimi adada o mo matwa won ahia ba wan kasa otena dem a onim wa state o so financially if you are improving in life you know it no be na be ka kire and financially wa wonim say brabo na wo bon na etu amra ma wo chena you know it to wa chena say and he was living his natural life. He realized that listen, Ghana hano because Olympics are here na near the man. Ebi Olympics no kwa bobo sia na break it through man. And only one thing. E break it through ma na.
Watara na jina we.
Ejana nche no.
Okay.
E break it through ma na captain. They had any say. Ebi ana on negative 20 you. And afa na break ya ma wo. It's a one say break ya ma now that's one negative 20. Now want to turn your man year. No cranny say. O starting leave with say your negative or 10 or 20 and farmer. To a negative 20 according kakra. So my point is I'm happy for him. I hope
but
that
a life lesson.
Yes.
Obu ho bobra na eduru ba bia na na ba mabu. Nti just imagine say said na Jackie to kana asem. Onya binna. That time he might no obey 29:30.
No copper.
Na afi wotwana na bama bo sigo ne kura na me na biem. Kanwa no. And they like in the next 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 months. Blasters call up there. There be oh. Yes, so obeje.
Oje besisa.
Per them 150 no so there be obeje.
Otutu ni year. Obi a wetimi a kire say even when we call blasters abakroba fro trotro onye ubade na say ono hwe anani da ho pa we oko
and obi so okan na chi se mo hwe ya ska call blasters onya ye no baby o ball no ball start in the ball na on bon se na namfofo obo no munyina o donate bibi kakra de momo
no munyina fa pa bon time na chi next time no next time no say ball no order nipa be 2009 see for mo
so mamu wo nshira
enya onu kwa na nansi for mo nipa be 2000 to bozo ogbo ayenhye na jibo yambra eye kotokode no so
intidino
ma say zito enra ne boys na meet
Enra.
Yes.
Okay.
Ewo MTN FA Cup. Na meeting na nya asem ketwa. Mama boys na hu say matches na aka won anim no, especially Chelsea match. Season ni nyina ejina sa match no so. Also mathematically Asante Kotoko can win the Ghana Premier League. But it's a long shot. Eni omon sem sa. Esa wo hye na obi hwe ase. Na wo hye ni nyina na obi so anhwe ase ase ne ewuda so gina bibia gina. Ba FA Cup ne de wo hye bre kuta won sem. They say final no mbebo Legon.
Sir.
Yes, Legon no mbebo final. De ababon thing. Just
the to so.
But mo de na hye brekum Chelsea. Ko Legon. Ko hye na ko Africa. Ko hye na ji bonus. Ko hye na sesa abrabo. So he had an extensive meeting.
Adan Zuba second went me ankoje.
To went me and.
Na won che mo man.
There be the nya sa. Enya sa mutin be ode. They da on shed na agena went me and sha media. You be enfema. And on fan to be da no. Opa on fan ku gu FA Cup trophy. Sem dem ko je FA Cup trophy na me de bebro. Enti on the boys na kasa. Ye hope say how things will go moving forward. Na Kotoko players no show some level of seriousness. Our match no. Our betimi dey dey. Betimi dey di nkunim. Ewo eye FA Cup na case brekum Chelsea. Na Jibo Kotoko team no emrantie no. Enyo mu nyina na be survive next season. Na adwuma we dey me sure say
team we qualify Africa. To bet. Ye kura ye tie. Ini momo Africa na so mukobi. Eno mo Africa here so mukobi.
We ma pen paper one ube jase.
Team ye oyi. Se ska wo ho pa dia. Ska wo ho a. Eno na se ase eno na ye Champions League na ye kasa asem no. Say obere na wo hwe eventually the top clubs no mo compete na. E wo Africa. Udomo se obi ani kura no. Owo be 5-6 quality players outside country na club na wono.
Okay.
For me to say Samba. For me to say Mukwala. For me to say Mbella. For me to say Mfegi. Recent years make up foreign players on my bar on my team SL. Look at their standard. Na fa compare ye dey no. Se Kotoko Samba so be a base 6 almost start with team now. Omo you ready to compete
in key positions.
Yes.
Omo bot is on a level.
Yes.
But
omo mo there. This almost on so.
Do they any stay or leave? Kamara.
And there are 7 person coach.
Oh, they say Kamara stay. Oh, Kamara.
Yes, Kamara stay.
Frederick Asare contract extension.
If Kotoko the strength and omo yeah, I think they will need Asare.
Okay, Asare stay. Patrick Essien do no doubt.
Stay.
Abulo.
Stay.
Samba.
Stay.
Ansu swap stay go emuden
Ansu corona Ansu twa game won say obi so ho a say ote bench on ha adwene
okay
nse ni nyina na consider sa nyoma no
team player
ote bench a on create problem
ba den be boso a o ye de na famu
until at least say upo be to be a sub for Samba ne abroad I think say it's okay.
Na Sifana o modern buy na.
Sifana so nya bad. Onso betia e sub.
Okay. Na se Kotoko because ya santen de wentimi ambonti no no de.
Ayi Marcelo.
Marcelo.
Okay.
So no de no. Ono ye hu no ndie no ye mfa ne nto he.
Sa Marcelo de wentimi ambonti sa.
De ono ye hu no kra.
Marcelo
got compel left back.
Marcelo beko.
Na Ajeti kakra na he.
Ajeti eso ko.
Okay. But Lord is stay.
Yes.
Tinedu play in team.
Kotoko be here upgrade.
Ti ono
na we ma be sap.
Ti o munyina ntra.
But o me sap no mun ko upgrade.
Eso mun pe de obro mo so. Che dwamna baba yaya Emmanuel Entwi.
Che away.
Okay.
Baba yaya team member upgrade mun po bi.
Upgrade of baba yaya.
Yeah.
Na Entwi.
On so upgrade. On they were disappointing me pa.
Okay.
Sini obi an krufi so o chiawo.
Me jene so.
Okay. Obi ha adwene o.
Na Awuche Basi
away.
Okay. Basi
away.
Peter Akwa.
Amidu asemi de ono eso munya abotru so.
Okay.
Ante eso mana. De hwan?
Eduku.
Emfa.
Minta.
Emfa.
Albert no Kwame Poku.
Albert stay. But upgrade.
Okay.
Kwame Poku upgrade. So mo pe ba ko wosro.
There's always my say no. Also left upgrade, right upgrade. Center back here.
Say center back do mo mienu no.
Ablo ne samba na.
Even Kotogo full backs no. On say I see it no. Matches wa bre.
Okay.
And Lord no ho Lord need me player o.
Okay.
Oni bo ankasa.
To mo pe competitors. Emo. And I'll say DM ho no upgrade.
Mo pe mo miensa no. In team. Till do
and
display. Omo san pe me for des miensa. Omo wosoro chen omo. Na we mu mra emro machi.
Omo pe 3.
Yes, 3. African ye near grow ho.
Na and attacking midfield.
Okay, so be qualify ko group stage akwaje $500 na da for.
And attacking midfield na.
Say attack makase.
And also Baba
stay, but upgrade omo pa upgrade.
And entry upgrade.
Entry.
Jano nya ba ko ana nya mienu.
Entry no. Wo hwe ne attitude na. Onye player wo te ase mde ne tra bench a.
Okay. So ne tra bench
on te ase. Ohun is a ball no.
Betimi abo.
Oni ball. Nti player sa no. Oba so oba yen so emfa. Nto no sa no se nye loan bi no mde be ko mo pe ba bi no mo nton ne manenko.
No waje.
So no ni profile na ye ni CV ne ye.
No waje kakra so ho. Na say no wa bear 5 no. Bear 5 players. And also wings. Amon pe upgrade and at striker back on.
Amon pe striker wosro. Amon ko Africa. Amon ko na mu kronkro no so. Pe striker. Unzo o to atena.
There's a best 7.
Kwame Poku lead team no Africa.
Na say wa best 7 no.
Na
and I want say players are okay so mun kunyina almost din wo yem ko ni list no.
And say nti de mekan na be siwi.
Players now okay so mun kunyina.
Nti na ba Dr. Keke Sapon asem no.
Omunyina obia ni ho a de meme hwehwe mu sam amensa aka se club ni pese ojo omo kwan no ambo ne di
abo omunyina di
obia
mo fanye news say 05361616070201941461 captain siasia ebeshia why okay na we dey na man na apia.
Oh, of course, they can do. Mommy, be handle.
So,
but you be a mommy, sir. Only in charge of Uncle Babe this.
Okay.
And to be Martin. Baba send the video na command ma or Damasi.
Okay.
So Damasi pa.
And I pay abetimenka. Why?
Yeah.
I know the umomo number na send me.
That's a ra. The family don't send.
About you be more no street. Or phone kwa de.
Patch you.
E be kono street. Yeah, call line so na yakodi nkomo. Odi be bia kase finado asemato aso. Adia no odion. Okay. Yenhwe nti se de tia no no. Odi ba bia kase finado asemato aso. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Shaka.
Evening, chairman. Okay, bacho yeti you.
And it's not and I'm the name of God is our talk. I check in my first. Almost some person now. But I have another Patagon.
Why? Mentido busani you. Mugabe no lead and Mugabe dem nim so e house but the authority dem nim timo support. Okay.
One of the other country the players in pattern to win the point.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Yentoaso. Hello, di maybe akasa finado asma to aso. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Evening.
Wrong number.
And a wrong number. Even have us offer. Oh, somebody, you know. Odi maybe akasa finado asma to aso.
You know where Omega Kusu.
Ome yetio.
We there. And some of them na me problem on say. Oko Manchester City, Manchester, a group of we are supporters over 3, and so on Kunda. And so to know be a timidity exactly at the command of Munimo. Now, that is the group of Apoya, I have done Uncle Bomuma. In Toboma, the sense of Nobia, you read about 2 cities, 5 cities. What I want to your power, wood, can you crowd 2 cities, 5 cities? I don't know what you know.
Okay, yes, that's it. Yentoaso. Would you maybe a Casafina to ask Matuaso?
But Raymond Casafi.
Okay, Mbacho Yetu.
Bacho MQ. Sambana Ghana presented. Would be some the Bob Ban or Wapa. Who recognize of Ghana players? Yes, somebody and I go to keep. The president, your share trainer.
Oh, Sanya Casam.
Oh, Sanya
Casam, sir. And to play a big team, you know, the initiative as a player, Nasa.
Mencaso on Yadio.
And said the old said, I was just on Yadi.
Presented in Nicase or broke down a Premier League. So, can you imagine?
Yati. And was Edio. Hey, I seen your AD. Would you maybe I can say once Matuaso?
Hello, good evening.
Evening, oh.
Because I feel about your family.
Okay, but you.
Yeah, Miss Macaca for as good Assassia or more, you know. One champion first one on my as good co relegation. I'm going to get it. I'm afraid Tira on somebody assassination room. He said, wait, Ghana has here, it's written above bra. Once a boss say, dear, ye Ghana for the Eligium as good as Chile. This person Moko radio, your most league in Mudia, but the traffic at the Omaba, Nanka, the project Nanka, Ombayano, Ekasunya Fulunu, or Monday. I said, oh, my dad, I'm in Primfona, ye do this and come with Jim Mukaju, grab a back. Oh, no more, my size, yeah, my size, or more as good. The assessor and perform on two, no to more. And say, baby, I am not going to have dinner. Have over.
Eh, yet say, yet me for course, Nibium, yet the Musia. Yami Admo China, Eda Fufro, Yabese Shia, if you know 9, a copy a Yununsia on Promise 102.7 Highway Sports, Yame Ebua China and Opa. Tidbits 6:40 to 7, 6:30 to 7. And I say 6:50. Same can you? Now for today's post 9:30 to 12. Now 4 to 6 on Promise 10.